وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُّدَّكِرٍ.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Welcome back, dear brothers and sisters. I welcome you all to Madina Book 3. Inshallah, we'll be doing our class 77 today. So in this class, inshallah, we'll be doing the concept of lesson number 22. So what does this lesson deals with? This lesson deals with form 7. So what is form 7? So in form 7, for the base form fa'ala, what you do is you bring in. So you add in to the fa'ala. So what happens is in fa'ala. So this will be your form 7. So there are certain characteristics this fa'al form 7 has, so we need to know. So first thing what we need to know is that it is an intransitive. So what does intransitive means? That it does not have maf'ulun bihi. So if there is no maf'ulun bihi, so we know that it cannot have a ism maf'ul. But we still use the ism maf'ul form to mention the ism zaman or ism makan, because they will be on the pattern of ism maf'ul. So we're going to see now how do we conjugate this fa'al. It's very straightforward. I hope you all should be able to do it very comfortably. So in fa'ala, the mudari will be yanfa'ilu. In fa'ala, yanfa'ilu. Amr will be infa'il. Ism fa'il will be munfa'ilun. And we know there is no ism maf'ul, but ism zaman wa ism makan will be munfa'alun. And masdar will be infi'alun. So this is the conjugation what we're going to. We're just going to do conjugation of few verbs and practice and then move forward inshallah. تعامل المثال ثم هات المضارع واسم فاعل والمصدر من الأفعال الآتية. So we need to give madi, mudariya, ism fa'il wa masdar. In kasara. So in kasara, mudariya will be yankasiru. Ism fa'il will be munkasir and masdar will be inkisarun. In fataha, yanfatihu. Ism fa'il munfatihun and masdar will be infitahun. Infitahun. In qata'a. So in kasara is to break, in fataha is to open, in qata'a is to cut. In qata'a yanqati'u munqati'un and masdar will be inqita'un. In sarafa to disperse, yansarifu, munsarifun and insirafun. The masdar will be insirafun. In shaqqa. So we need to understand this file. In shaqqa. So this verb, this is like a mudaf. So the words will be shaqaqa. So it will be in shaqaqa. In shaqaqa. So what will happen here is that because of the repetition of letters, we remove one and we'll give idgham. So it becomes in shaqqa. And mudariya will be again, it will be yan shaqiqu. Again, same thing happens here. We remove one letter because it's repeating, and what we do is we'll call it as yanshaqqu. And ism fa'il will be again munshaqiqun. Same thing happens here. Munshaqiqun, you remove one of the qaf and you make it munshaqqun. So we need to understand this. In shaqqa, yanshaqqu, munshaqqun. So we know this is ism fa'il because there is no ism maf'ul in this form. And what will be the masdar? Masdar will be inshiqaqun. Here we don't do idgham because there is alif coming between two qaf, so that will be a normal pronunciation. So it will be inshiqaqun. Inshaqqa is to cleft asunder. Inshiqaq is the masdar. So now we have here injala. Injala is to settle down. Mudari will be yanjali. So originally it is yanjaliyu. So we don't pronounce the dhamma, so it will be yanjali. Ism fa'il originally is munjaliyun. So what we do is we know whenever there is have a ism with ya and dam tanween coming at the end, so this will be taken away. So you take it out, and whatever a sign, vowel sign is there before it, you give it compensatory kasra or fatha. So we have a kasra here. So what we'll do is we'll get compensatory kasra. So it becomes munjalin. Munjalin is your ism file. Again for masdar it will be injilayun, infi'alun. So injilayun. So we know for a masdar when you have yun, so you take this off and you replace it with hamza. So it will be injilaun. So we need to understand this conjugation in all the forms. So now we're going to see what are the characteristics of these forms, and we know how it is formed, we know how it is conjugated, we know for the mudaf and naqis verbs. So this one of the characteristics of this fa'al is al-mutawa'atu. So we have done this before. We're just going to revise. What is mutawa'atu? Just to revise it, just to change shape or to follow or to obey. So we know any fa'al, it has fa'al, fa'il and maf'ulun bihi. When a fa'al changes its form, then it can two things happen. It can become from intransitive to transitive, or if it is transitive, it can become intransitive. So in this form, the form 7, it becomes intransitive. What does it mean? It means in a fa'al which has fa'il and maf'ulun bihi, when it is changed to form 7, the maf'ulun bihi becomes the fa'il. And this imparts a meaning of passiveness. So it acts like a passive fa'il, but it is not passive. So we don't call it as a majhul, we don't call it as a naib fa'il, we still call it as a fa'il. So we just give, for example, the form 7, it tawa, it obeys or it follows the form 1, whereas form 5, it follows form 2. So I'm going to give you some examples, so it's going to make you clear, inshallah. So if we take the example here, fatahtal baba. So here we need to understand what is the fa'al, fa'il and maf'ulun bihi. So we know fataha is to open. So who opened? Ta is your fa'il, anta. So you opened. Al-baba, that is your maf'ulun bihi. So now if we change this form 1 to form 7, where we have to bring in fataha. So what we do is, so that is your fa'il and maf'ulun bihi, you take away the fa'il. So you take away the fa'il, what happens? This maf'ulun bihi becomes the fa'il, not the naib fa'il. Here it is changing the form, so it is still called as a fa'il. So it becomes in fatahal babu. So babu with dhamma, that is a fa'il for in fataha. So but the meaning, it becomes like the door opened. So who opened? We don't know. So the door opened. So that imparts the meaning of majhul, but it is not majhul. We need to remember. So if you give the form 2, form 2 is kasartu zujaja. Means kasar is your fa'il, 2 is your fa'il, and az-zujaja is your maf'ulun bihi, the glass. I smashed the glass. So now if we change this to form 5, so what happens? The fa'il is gone and it becomes takassar zujaju. So az-zujaju, that is your, becomes your fa'il. So the glass smashed. So who smashed? We don't know. So this is one of the characteristics of a form 7, and it form 1 can be changed into form 7. So we need to remember, and form 2 can be changed into form 5, and the meaning is changed into a passive meaning. Let's give some more example. So we say kasartul koba. So we say in kasaral kobu. So I broke the glass broke. Qata'tul habla. So I cut the rope. In qata'al hablu. The rope got cut. Qalabtul kitaba. Qalaba means to turn over. Al-kitaba, that is your maf'ulun bihi. So you take away the file and you make the maf'ul bihi as a file. So it will be in qalabal kitabu. In qalabal means the book turned over. Hazamal muslimun al-kuffara. Hazama means to win over, to overpower, to defeat. The Muslims defeated the kuffar. So if you put in the form 7, it will be in hazamal kuffaru. So the kuffar were defeated. So with this knowledge of form 7, how it is formed, what meaning it imparts, so we're going to do our lesson number 22. Ad-darsu thaniya wal ishrun. So again the scenario is in the class where you have a dialogues being framed and we understand each and every part of the sentences, inshallah. So al-mudarris, hatu ad-dafatira ya ikhwan. Hatu means to bring or to give. Bring, that's an amr. Dafatira. So this is the plural for daftar. So ya ikhwan is telling to the students here, so give the notebooks. So at-tullabu, the students, mubtada, yusallimuna al-dafatira. So yusallimuna is to submit, So the students submits their notebooks or their exercise books. Hassan says, Ana lam aktub wajibat ya ustad. Ana lam aktubil wajibat ya ustad. So we know lam is harf nafin wa qalbin. So it imparts the meaning of negation in the past. So but it is used with mudari'. Okay, and it is majzoom. Okay. So I did not write. What did you not write? Al-wajibat. What is wajibat? Wajibat means homework. I did not write do my homework, ya ustad. Ustad Mudarris says lima. So lima is, we know this ha is ha sakti, silent ha. It means why. So why did you not write? So the Hassan says, in kasarat nazarati fala astati an aqra'a aw aktuba. So in kasarat. What is in kasarat? In kasarat is the break. So what broke? Nazaratu is your fa'il here. Is your fa'il. وهو مضاف يا متكلم is your مضاف إليه. So my glass or my spectacles, they broke. فلا أستطيع. So I was not able to. Istata. So what is this form here? This is form 10. It comes from istata'a yastati'u, is to be able to do. So la yastati'u means not able to do. So he's saying fa is therefore la astati'u. I was not able to. Able to what? An aqra'a. So an aqra'a is coming as your maf'ulun bihi for astati'. So therefore I was not able to read aw aktuba or write. Mudarris says uzruka. So what is uzruka? Uzruka is your excuse. Uzruka maqbulun. Your excuse is accepted. Wa aina daftaraka. And he takes a pause. He says, where is your notebook? Ya Muawiyah. O Muawiyah, where is your exercise book? Muawiyah says, Ana aidan lam maktub. Even I didn't write. The Mudarris gets angry. He says, An kasarat nazaratuka aidan. So we need to understand here what is the expression. Why do we have a question mark here? And what is the expression here? An kasarat. So we didn't see anything like an kasara in the conjugation. It was in kasara, yan kasiru. So why do we have here hamzatul qata? So I'm just going to take you to the next screen here. It says like this fa'il comes from in fa'ala. So we have a hamzatul wasl here with a kasra. Okay. So when we bring hamzatul qata for question, this is a hamzatul istifham for asking question. So what we know, whenever there is a letter or a word comes before hamzatul wasl, the sound is dropped. But in this case, it is not only dropped, it is also taken away. It is completely omitted. So what happens? It becomes anfa'ala. So here, when you use this form, your tone has to change because you're asking a question. Okay. For example, here it is anqalabat. Did it turn over? So here we say ankasarat. That means, did it broke? What broke? Nazaratuka. Did your glasses also broke? So that is the expression here. That's why we have a hamzatul istifham and you have a question mark here and your tone has to change. So we know it is hamzatul wasl here, but it's not been omitted. Ankasarat. Nazaratuka aidan. Muawiyah says, La in qata'at kahraba'u. So what is in qata'at? Is to cut, to be disconnected. What got disconnected? Al kahraba'u. Kahraba'u means the electricity. The electricity got disconnected. So fi mahjayna. So in our hostel, bu'ayda salatil maghrib. What is bu'ayda? Bu'ayda, it comes from ba'ada. Ba'ada means after. But bu'aid is ismu tasghir. So soon after, immediately after. So immediately after Salat al-Maghrib and the electricity got disconnected. Wastamarra. What is wastamarra means? Again, we know this is a form 10. It means it remained. So what remained here? Al-inqita'u, the disconnection, it remained ila muntasafil layl, up until the midnight. What is muntasafil layl means? Muntasafa, again it is form 8. We're going to do it after this form 7 inshallah. So again we can see the root word is nisf, half. Intasafa means to midway. So up until middle of the night the power didn't come. So what happens now? Yanfatahu al-babu wa yadkhulu Adnan. So again we know yanfatahu means it opened. What opened? The bab. The door opened. Wa yadkhulu, and Adnan enters. So he's entering now. So what happens now? The Mudarris says, Lima ta'akharta ya Adnan. So ta'akharta. So we know ta'akhara. Just now we did here. So comes with form 5. So why were you delayed? Lima ta'akharta. Why were you delayed? Ya Adnan. Adnan says, Inqalabat sayyaratu fit tariq. So inqalabat is to turn over. What turned over? The car. The car turned over in the tariq is in the road. Fa, and we know fa is for a reason. So therefore, tawaqqaf al-murur. Tawaqqafa, waqqafa is to come to a standstill. No? To come to a stand. What came to standstill? Al-murur. Murur is traffic. So therefore, the car turned over in the road, and therefore the traffic came to a standstill. Mudarris says, Anqalabat sayyaratu Aina. So again he's asking a question. Did the car turn over? Where? So again this expression anqalabat, we're going to do some practice. So just revision here. A and inkasara. So what happens is it is changed into ankasara. Ankasara. So you change your tone. Did it broke? So some more example. In fatahal babul mat'ami. So the door of restaurant opened. So now we have to ask question. Say an fatahal babul mat'ami. Did the door of restaurant open? In hazamal mushrikuna. The mushrikun were defeated. So if you say, were the one mushrikun defeated? Say an hazamal mushrikuna. Did the mushrikun were defeated? So aslama abuka. So how would you do this? So we won't say aslama because it's form 4. It's a trick here. So we put again hamzatul istifham. So it will be aslama. So this is form 4. We know it's hamzatul qata. This is hamzatul wasl. So you got to be careful. So you don't drop all the hamzas. Only if it is hamzatul wasl, you drop. If it's hamzatul qata, you keep it and you pronounce it. So it will be aslama abuka. So that's just some practice there for using hamzatul istifham in form 7. So now Adnan says, so teacher asked, where? Aina? Adnan says, fil mun'atafi allazi ba'da al-jisri. So mun'atafi is the junction. So it comes from atafa, to connect something. In atafa is to connect. So mun'ataf is the ismu zaman. All again, this is a form 7 here. It is the junction, that which allazi, again coming as a naat. Ba'd al-jisri. Jisri means bridge. So it is a junction that comes after the bridge. Al-Mudarris says, Asalima rukabu. Salima is to be safe. And rukabu, that is the file here. Or the passengers who are on it, are they safe? Adnan says, Naam. Salimu. They are safe. Walhamdulillah. And all praise to Allah. Lawla fadlullahi alayhum lamatu. So we're going to see what is this lawla. So we're going to stop here because this is a very beautiful expression. We need to understand here how to understand this lawla. So we're going to continue in our next lesson. Inshallah, we'll do this concept and understand completely in our next class. It's very important to practice and write the files and write the exercises to practice and get more control over understanding this form of file. I'll see you again in our next class. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.